Young and the Restless. Audra's bold move to win Noah back? Young and of the Restless has Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, dangerously close to rock bottom at the moment. She's got no job, no man, and she's a town pariah. But with Noah Newman Lucas Adams coming back soon, she might look for a new opportunity and a new life with him. We're going to talk about Audra making a play for her ex-boyfriend Noah now that he is back on the YandR canvas. Young and the Restless. Audra loses it all. So, over the past few weeks we've seen Audra lose pretty much everything in her life because of that ridiculous deal she made with Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, to seduce Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, in exchange for money. We all saw Audra lose Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic. And Audra also made an enemy out of Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, and an even bigger enemy out of Kyle. Plus, the cosmetics company she was trying to start, Vibrante, is nothing but a faded dream at this point. All the money's gone and Victor demanded a refund of what he paid her. I mean, honestly, did any of you think Audra really had a shot at making Vibrante happen? Because I don't think Victor was ever going to pay up, even if she had gotten Kyle into her bed. Audra's last hope on YandR. A fragile alliance with Sally Spectra. As of now, pretty much the only person in Genoa City that Audra has in her corner is Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope. And the only business opportunity Audra has is the job Sally promised her at AbbottCom. That was almost dead too when Billy Abbott Jason Thompson told Jack Abbott Peter Bergman to take back his funding. And he did. But thankfully Sally talked Jill Abbott Jess Walton into funding the company so very soon. We also have Young and the Restless spoilers saying Sally goes out on a limb for Audra. So I'm wondering if Sally has to defend her choice to keep Audra on board as a key employee either while talking with Billy or with Jill or both. Hopefully, Audra won't mess things up for Sally and won't wind up losing her new job at AbbottCom. Young and the Restless. Noah Newman's return to Genoa City. With all this going on, right as Audra's life is falling apart more by the day, her ex-boyfriend Noah is coming back to Genoa City soon after being gone for years. If you recall, Audra and Noah were together for a while. They were serious. That was years ago, though. If I recall correctly, Audra and Noah had been living in London, and they were pretty serious back then. But Noah said that they were toxic, and that they fought all the time. After one fight in particular, with Audra thinking they were going to work things out because they always fought, and then kissed and made up, Noah just never came back. It also turned out that when he walked out at the time, Audra was allegedly pregnant with Noah's baby. But Audra supposedly miscarried before she could tell Noah about the pregnancy and told him way after the fact. So that was, I don't know, at least a year later, maybe longer when Audra showed up in Genoa City. She ran into Noah, told him about the miscarriage, but by then he'd already moved on with Aline Gwynn, Kelsey Wong, and was quite happy. YandR casting shakeup, a new face for Noah Newman. Noah opened up a nightclub in Genoa City, and then it was like a few months after that, his character kind of just disappeared. He and Ali, I think, took a trip to Paris and then they never came back. That was back when Rory Gibson played the role of Noah. And by the way, Rory is now over on General Hospital playing Michael Corinthos. So now we've got a new Noah headed back to Genoa City, and he has been recast with actor Lucas Adams, who is such a cute guy. Looks very different from Rory, but he's very hunky. If you watch Days of Our Lives now and then, you may have seen Lucas on there. He played Trip Dalton on the NBC soap, also known as Trip Johnson's Steve the Patch, the guy with the eye patch, his son. What's fun is over on Days, Tamara Braun played his mom. That's the actress who's playing Sienna on Young and the Restless now that we've seen in a couple of episodes so far. A mysterious accident and a fight for life on Young and the Restless. We've got this splashy return for Noah, and he seems to be in quite a bit of trouble right now. Sharon Newman's Sharon case, at his side as Noah fights for his life in the hospital. He's still in a coma because of that terrible accident. Except it turns out it wasn't an accident. Somebody ran him off the road on purpose. And right now his parents, Sharon and Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, are with Noah and they're worried sick. Plus, Nick said that Noah had been acting very nervous lately, like something was off, something was wrong. And we also know that Noah had gone to LA to open another nightclub. And it looks like his girlfriend Allie stayed behind in Paris. So, it seems like Noah got involved in some kind of shady business with some sketchy people. Probably not on purpose. We'll learn more about that soon, probably from Sienna. But right now, Noah's in a medically induced coma because of brain swelling, and he's in really rough shape. Will Audra seize the opportunity with a vulnerable Noah on YandR? Meanwhile, back in Genoa City, Audra overheard Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, and Nate talking about Noah's accident, and she reminded Victoria and Nate that she used to be in a relationship with Noah. And then Audra was asking questions about how he's doing. So, I do suspect their paths are going to cross again soon. Actually, what I think is Audra is going to throw herself into Noah's path. By the way, there are no signs that Kelsey Wong is coming back to Young and the Restless as Allie. So, it looks like things with them maybe fell apart, and Noah is going to hit Genoa City single. He may still be in a coma when he gets to town. I do think Sharon and Nick are going to bring him home while he's still recuperating. At the same time, Audra has pretty much nobody and nothing going on right now romantically. I'm wondering if she's going to try and latch on to Noah again as soon as she can. Audra might take advantage of Noah's medical crisis and rush to his bedside once he's back in Genoa City. And we all know Audra begged Nate to take her back, but he adamantly refused. She knows that's off the table. Audra's other ex, Kyle, is still fixated on Claire. And her other ex, Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, is fixated on Claire. And her other ex, Tucker McCall, Trevor St. John, is long gone. So Audra may decide to try a blast from her past and make a play to get back with Noah when he is vulnerable. A path to redemption, or more drama on Young and the Restless. At one point, it seemed like Audra still cared about Noah, and they do have history. So with nothing else in her life, I can absolutely see Audra getting hyped up about trying to get back with Noah right at the point where he's in physical pain. He's in this crisis and his girlfriend's not around. I think we'll get an idea if Audra's got residual feelings when we see her reaction to how badly Noah's been hurt and hear about the trouble that he's in. Plus, we know that Audra was at one time part of that same LA scene with Holden and Sienna, possibly Detective Fake or Real Burrow, Matt Cohen. And we still haven't met Roger Howarth's mystery character. So, Audra might decide she wants to try and fix things for Noah and protect him because she knows some of these bad people. And as worried as Sharon and Nick are about Noah, I don't think they're going to want Audra anywhere near him because of how stressful and dramatic their past is buzzing once again, and this time, the drama centers around the young, complicated, and ever-spiraling lives of Audra Charles and Noah Newman. Their recent breakup has left fans divided, hearts broken, and speculation at an all-time high. But in a move that could either spell reconciliation or chaos, Audra is taking bold steps to try and win Noah back. And Genoa City isn't ready for the fallout. Audra's relationship with Noah has always been a whirlwind. Their chemistry is undeniable, a mixture of teenage passion, complicated family dynamics, and the inevitable interference from Genoa City's resident schemers. Audra, the ambitious and savvy young woman who's never been afraid to play hard, found herself on shaky ground after a series of misunderstandings and secretive actions. Noah, on the other hand, is the quintessential Newman, loyal, passionate, and sometimes blinded by family loyalty. Their love story has always been a balancing act between youthful desire and the burdens of their respective family legacies. The turning point came when Noah discovered Audra's recent secret, her involvement in uncovering sensitive information about the Newman family's dealings. While her intentions were noble, Noah felt betrayed. The young couple's heated argument left more than just emotional scars. It left a tangible rift that neither side knew how to bridge. Noah retreated into his family's world, seeking comfort in the familiar and avoiding the uncertainty of Audra's unpredictable plans. Audra, however, is not one to back down. If anything, the breakup has sparked a fire in her, fueling a determination to fight for what she believes in. Audra's bold move begins with a masterclass in strategy and audacity. Realizing that apologies alone won't cut it, she devises a plan that involves both vulnerability and calculated risk. The first step, a public gesture designed to capture Noah's attention while reminding him of the bond they once shared. Genoa City's social scene is notoriously unforgiving, and Audra knows that a well-timed presence at the Newman Gala could serve as both a display of confidence and a subtle appeal to Noah's emotions. She arrives looking poised, radiant, and self-assured, a reminder that while their love may have faltered, her spirit remains unshaken. But Audra's approach is more than superficial. Beneath the glamorous exterior lies a genuine desire to confront the issues that drove them apart. She plans a private conversation with Noah, one stripped of distractions and defenses. In this intimate setting, Audra lays her cards on the table. She admits to her mistakes, acknowledges the pain caused, and appeals to the love they once shared. What makes her move daring is the transparency she embraces, a vulnerability that Noah has rarely seen in Audra, whose natural instincts lean toward control and strategy. By showing her true self, She challenges Noah to see beyond anger and disappointment, inviting him to reconnect with the heart that first drew him to her. Yet, Audra's strategy is not without complications. Genoa City thrives on interference, and the Newman family is notorious for its protective, sometimes meddlesome tendencies. Victor Newman, ever the patriarch, has opinions about who is worthy of his family's next generation. While Audra has managed to navigate this terrain in the past, winning back Noah means confronting the subtle, and sometimes not so subtle, manipulations that have defined the Newman household for decades. Audra must balance boldness with diplomacy, ensuring that her pursuit of Noah does not alienate those whose influence could make or break her plan. Complicating matters further, the lingering presence of other potential love interests and the echoes of past relationships create a tense, emotionally charged environment. Noah's interactions with friends, family, and even rivals continually remind him of what he has lost, and what he risks losing by letting pride dictate his actions. Audra understands that timing is crucial. Her boldness must be tempered with patience, her gestures calculated yet sincere. Every conversation, every shared glance, every subtle act of kindness is designed to reignite the connection that once seemed unbreakable. Audra also taps into the power of shared memories, the kind of moments that define a young couple's love. From spontaneous coffee dates in Genoa City's quieter streets to late-night heart-to-heart conversations about dreams and fears, she reminds Noah of the life they envisioned together. These reminders are strategic yet heartfelt, a delicate balance that could either melt Noah's defenses or push him further into retreat. The emotional stakes are high, and the viewers are left on the edge of their seats, watching a story that teeters between reconciliation and heartbreak. What makes Audra's move truly compelling is her willingness to take responsibility for her role in the breakup while still asserting her needs. Unlike other Genoa City storylines that revolve around manipulation or revenge, this narrative centers on communication, honesty, and emotional courage. Audra is not seeking to manipulate Noah with grandiose gestures or social posturing alone. Instead, she recognizes that to win him back, she must be the person he fell in love with while also demonstrating the growth and maturity that the breakup inspired. It's a delicate, high-stakes dance, one that requires her to navigate her own fears and insecurities while appealing to Noah's heart. Audra's bold strategy also includes a public show of support for Noah, one that reaffirms her commitment without overstepping boundaries. In an unexpected twist, she steps in to back Noah on a project he's passionate about, showing that she believes in his dreams as much as she believes in their shared potential. This gesture resonates with Noah, reminding him of the partnership and teamwork that define their relationship. It's a reminder that love in Genoa City is not just about passion, it's about trust, support, and shared goals. As the storyline unfolds, viewers are left to wonder, will Audra's bold moves succeed, or will the intricate web of family loyalty, past mistakes, and emotional baggage prove insurmountable? Genoa City thrives on unpredictability, and even the most carefully laid plans can be disrupted by unexpected revelations. But Audra's determination is undeniable. She is willing to risk humiliation, rejection, and even temporary heartache in pursuit of something she believes is worth fighting for, her love for Noah. Audra's story in The Young and the Restless is a reminder that love is rarely simple, especially in a city defined by wealth, power, and family legacies. Her bold move to win Noah back is not just a plot device. It's a testament to the resilience of young love, the courage to confront mistakes, and the complexity of human emotions. Fans are witnessing a young woman take charge of her destiny, using wit, strategy, and heart to navigate one of the most challenging emotional landscapes in Genoa City history. As the drama continues to unfold, one thing is certain: Audra's actions will have ripple effects across the Newman family and beyond. Whether she succeeds or fails, her story is captivating, relatable, and quintessentially YandR. Bold, audacious, and full of heart, Audra's quest to win Noah back is shaping up to be one of the most compelling storylines of the season. Genoa City may be unpredictable, but one thing remains true. When Audra makes a move, everyone watches and holds buzzing with whispers, glances, and tension this week as Audra Charles, once the self-assured, calculating powerhouse, began a slow and shocking unraveling. For months, Audra had seemed untouchable, a woman who wielded her influence like a sword and never missed an opportunity to manipulate her way to the top. But this week, everything she had built began to crumble, and the results were nothing short of dramatic. It all started at the Chancellor Industries board meeting. Audra had planned this day meticulously, arriving in her signature sharp suit, perfectly coiffed hair, and that icy gaze that often silenced any opposition. She was ready to make her next move. A merger that would cement her position and perhaps even edge out Victor Newman's shadow from the corporate world. But as the meeting unfolded, it became clear that the universe, or Genoa City itself, had other plans. Nate Hastings, ever the moral compass in the city, had been quietly investigating Audra for weeks. What started as a hunch had snowballed into a full-blown dossier of missteps, backroom deals, and ethically questionable decisions. Nate's timing could not have been more perfect. As Audra began her presentation, outlining her plan for the merger, Nate stepped forward with a folder in hand. The room went silent, a palpable tension filling the air. Everyone knew Nate rarely made mistakes, and rarely made accusations lightly. "Ms. Charles," Nate began, his voice calm but firm, "I believe these documents will shed some light on decisions that might have crossed legal and ethical boundaries." He opened the folder and began distributing copies. Eyes widened, jaws dropped, and even those loyal to Audra found themselves frozen in shock. Every carefully hidden deal, every secret manipulation, was now in black and white for all to see. Audra's face, once composed and confident, faltered for just a moment, a crack in her armor that felt enormous. But she quickly masked it with a sharp smile and attempted to spin the narrative. "These allegations are baseless, misinterpreted, and frankly, a desperate attempt by competitors to undermine a successful plan," she declared, her voice icy, but the tremor in her tone betrayed her. Yet the damage was done. Among the board members, murmurs turned into outright concern. Investors shifted uneasily in their seats. Even Victoria Newman, who had often been wary of Audra but never a direct adversary, raised an eyebrow and exchanged a knowing glance with her father, Victor. The tide was shifting. The fallout didn't stop at the boardroom. Within hours, whispers spread across Genoa City like wildfire. Chelsea Newman, who had always kept her distance from Audra, saw an opportunity to further secure her own position, and perhaps settle a few old scores. She wasn't one to gloat publicly, but in private, she relished seeing Audra, the untouchable queen, faltering. Then came the media storm. Genoa City's tabloids were merciless. Headlines screamed, "Audra Charles under fire," and "Power and greed, has Audra finally met her match?" Even social media caught fire with speculation, conspiracy theories, and memes mocking Audra's once impeccable control. She had spent years curating an image of perfection, but now the public and the private worlds collided, and her facade was crumbling. Amid the chaos, Audra's personal life began to unravel as well. Nate's revelations had triggered reactions in unexpected places. Her allies began to distance themselves, wary of being tainted by association. Friends she thought loyal were suddenly cautious, offering polite smiles but strategic distance. And then there was her relationship with Adam Newman. Audra had leaned on Adam as both a confidant and an enabler in her schemes, but even he hesitated now. The whispers of betrayal and caution in his eyes were unmistakable. But the real blow came when Audra confronted her own reflection, alone in her lavish apartment, late at night. The city lights glimmered below, but they felt cold, distant, and indifferent. She had always believed in control. Control of her image, control of her plans, control of the people around her. Yet now, standing amid her expensive decor, she realized that control was an illusion. She had gambled everything on a single hand, and the cards had been exposed. Her phone buzzed incessantly with calls she didn't want to answer. Board members, lawyers, reporters, and even Victor himself. The Newmans were notoriously strategic. Victor had likely been waiting for a moment like this to exact a subtle revenge, and Audra knew it. She couldn't help but feel a pang of fear. For the first time in years, Audra Charles felt vulnerable, exposed, and cornered. The next morning, the fallout intensified. A press conference had been scheduled, and the eyes of Genoa City were on her. Audra walked in, head held high, prepared to face the storm, but even her carefully rehearsed words felt hollow. Questions from reporters were sharp, pointed, and relentless. Audra attempted to deflect, but every deflection only made her look weaker. She was losing the narrative, the battle, and perhaps even the war. In the midst of the chaos, a surprising ally stepped forward, Claire Grace. Known for her own strategic mind and savvy, Claire had seen Audra's downfall as an opportunity, but also a moment for redemption. Approaching Audra privately, she said, "You've lost the battle, but it's not too late to save what matters." Audra, weary and wary, listened, but the exhaustion and desperation in her eyes were unmistakable. Could she rebuild? Could she fight back, or had she truly lost it all? As the week closes in Genoa City, Audra's empire lies in ruins. She has lost the trust of colleagues, the loyalty of friends, and the favor of the city. But the world of Young and the Restless is never without drama, twists, and surprises. Will Audra rise again, more cunning and ruthless than before? Or will this be the beginning of a permanent downfall, a cautionary tale of ambition, arrogance, and hubris? One thing is certain: Genoa City has never been kinder to anyone, but it's never let anyone escape consequences either. Audra Charles, once a queen of manipulation, now faces the stark reality that losing it all is not just a possibility, it has arrived. And as the city watches, the real question emerges. Will Audra adapt, or will the shadows of her mistakes consume her completely? In a city where fortunes, reputations, and alliances are fleeting, Audra's story is a stark reminder that no one is untouchable. The question for Genoa City now is whether Audra's loss will be the end of her saga, or just the beginning of a more dangerous, desperate comeback. And as the whispers grow louder and the tension reaches a boiling point, one thing is clear. The drama is far world of Genoa City, where power, passion, and betrayal collide at every corner. Audra Charles has always been a woman determined to protect her family at any cost. But now, she finds herself at the edge of desperation, facing challenges that could topple everything she holds dear. The stakes have never been higher, and in a shocking twist of fate, Audra's last hope might come from the most unexpected place: a fragile alliance with none other than Sally Spectra. For weeks, viewers have watched Audra struggle against mounting pressures. Her son's custody, her reputation in the corporate world, and the looming threat of her past mistakes being exposed have created a storm she can no longer weather alone. In her search for leverage, Audra realized that she needed someone with insider knowledge, someone fearless, and someone willing to bend the rules in ways she can't. That someone is Sally Spectra, Genoa City's fashion maverick whose life has always thrived in the shadows of bold risks and audacious moves. Audra's decision to approach Sally is risky, arguably reckless. Sally has a long history of putting herself first, and her loyalty is notoriously conditional. However, the two women share a rare, unspoken understanding. Both have experienced betrayal, both know what it's like to fight for survival in a city that chews up the innocent and spits them out, and both possess a tenacity that refuses to bow down to the powerful men who try to control them. The first meeting between Audra and Sally is electric. It begins in the hushed luxury of Crimson's design room, where Sally is surrounded by swatches of fabric, sketches of avant-garde collections, and the hum of creativity. Audra enters, tense, calculating, every step measured. Sally looks up, eyebrow raised, instantly sensing the desperation in Audra's eyes. "Audra Charles, to what do I owe the pleasure?" she asks, her tone laced with curiosity and caution. Audra doesn't waste time on pleasantries. "Sally, I need your help," she says, her voice taut with urgency. "There's a threat to my family, one that could ruin everything. You know how it feels to fight against the odds in this city. I'm offering you an alliance, a chance to come in on something that will benefit both of us." Sally leans back, crossing her arms. She's intrigued but wary. "And why, pray tell, should I risk my reputation or my life for you, Audra?" Audra's response is simple but powerful. "Because you know what it's like to lose, Sally. Because you know what it feels like when the people who should protect you don't. And because this could be the kind of gamble that pays off in ways you can't even imagine." It's a gamble indeed. The alliance between Audra and Sally is tenuous, built on necessity rather than trust. But in the world of Genoa City, necessity often outweighs sentiment. Sally agrees to help, but on her own terms. She demands access to certain intel, control over the timing of their moves, and a guarantee that her reputation won't be collateral damage in Audra's war. Audra, realizing she has little choice, concedes to Sally's conditions, setting the stage for a partnership fraught with tension but brimming with potential. Their plan begins with subtlety. Audra's enemies, both corporate and personal, are watching closely, underestimating the unlikely duo. Together, Audra and Sally start gathering information, laying traps, and manipulating the social currents of Genoa City to their advantage. Audra provides the strategic brains, leveraging her knowledge of family dynamics and corporate maneuvering, while Sally injects daring creativity, using her connections in the fashion world and her street-smart instincts to uncover secrets and apply pressure where it hurts most. The fragility of their alliance becomes apparent almost immediately. They clash over tactics. Audra prefers precision and patience, while Sally thrives on bold, unpredictable moves. Their conversations are peppered with sharp words and pointed barbs, but underneath the friction lies a growing respect. Audra begins to see Sally's brilliance, the kind of audacity that can tip the scales in situations where conventional strategies fail. Sally, in turn, recognizes Audra's unwavering commitment to family, a determination that mirrors her own passion for survival and success. Drama intensifies as they inch closer to their goal. Audra's adversaries start to notice the subtle shifts in power, the small victories that indicate a larger plan at play. Rumors swirl, alliances shift, and every move is met with suspicion. In a city where loyalty is fleeting, every step forward feels like walking a tightrope over a pit of vipers. Yet, despite the tension, Audra feels a glimmer of hope, a feeling she hasn't allowed herself in months. But Genoa City thrives on betrayal, and the alliance between Audra and Sally is under constant threat. A single misstep could unravel their strategy, leaving both women exposed. The stakes are personal. For Audra, it's about protecting her family and her reputation. For Sally, it's about power, survival, and perhaps even redemption. The chemistry between them oscillates between camaraderie and conflict, with moments of laughter and brief trust punctuating the ever-present tension. The turning point comes during a high-stakes confrontation with one of Audra's most dangerous enemies. Using a combination of Audra's intelligence and Sally's daring, the duo executes a plan that is as audacious as it is risky. Sally's flair for the dramatic provides the distraction, while Audra's meticulous strategy ensures that every detail is accounted for. The plan succeeds, but just barely, leaving both women exhilarated, exhausted, and acutely aware of how thin the line between victory and disaster truly is. As the dust settles, Audra and Sally share a quiet moment of recognition. Their alliance may be fragile, but it is undeniably effective. They have discovered a mutual respect, a bond forged not through sentimentality, but through necessity, resilience, and shared triumphs. Genoa City may be a place where trust is rare and betrayal is common, but for the moment, Audra and Sally have found strength in each other. Fans of the young and the restless are captivated by this unlikely duo. Social media buzzes with speculation. Will their alliance hold? Can Sally truly be trusted? How far will Audra go to protect her family, and what price will she pay for this newfound partnership? The intrigue keeps viewers on the edge of their seats, eagerly awaiting each new episode, knowing that in Genoa City, nothing is ever certain, but anything is possible. In the end, Audra's last hope isn't just a plan or a scheme. It's the fragile, fiery partnership with Sally Spectra. Together, they navigate the treacherous waters of power, deception, and ambition, proving that sometimes survival depends not on who you are, but on who you choose to stand beside. And in a city where alliances are fleeting and danger lurks behind every corner, Audra and Sally's story reminds us that even the most fragile bonds can become formidable forces when forged in the fires of necessity and courage. Genoa City will never be the same, and Audra's gamble may just pay off. But only time will tell if this fragile alliance can withstand the chaos that is sure to come.